It is time to feed the garden. Fall prep using soil amendments to help revive the soil. Let's do this. This year, I'm starting a little bit early. Normally, I would start a month later, but I decided to get ahead of the game. So one of the things I will be doing is adding some stir manure. Now, I want to say a disclaimer. I have my own compost, but it's not ready. So occasionally you will see me use chicken compost and manure or stir manure in our family's garden, which is not a problem as long as it's organic. There's no chemicals treated or anything like that. You will be fine. Reviving the soil is very important, whether it's in a container, in a raised bed, or in the ground. No matter how, no matter where you're growing and how you're growing it, you got to feed the soil. It's very important. And so you see me pouring in my soil, my stem manure into a bucket, which you don't have to do that, y'all. I'm just trying not to make a mess because I can be a little bit messy. So I want to try to be as clean as possible. And one of the things I did add that you may not have noticed was as volcanic rock dust. Now, volcanic rock dust is just basically rocks that's from a volcano, basically, that has been turned to a powderized form. And the brand that you will hear most people say is azomite. Okay, now after you got your product, you want to go ahead and mix it in, stir it in, chill it in, whatever you got to do. Just do it so that you can move on to the next task. And I want to say I'm not going to be getting my whole garden prepped, but certain things that I know that's going to need it. And in this bed that's bare, I'm thinking about direct sowing, and it is okay to direct sow right now. The seeds that I want to grow, which is annual tree collard greens and beets, but I'm going to wait it out. It's too hot. We have been in the record triple digit temps too long. Now, one of the things that I am happy about is this moringa tree. The species of this moringa tree is a PKM1, and it's late in the growing season. We grew it from seed last month, and this is how big it is right now. And it's only a month old. But because we're going to fall winter month, I don't know if it's going to survive out in our temps, but we're going to give it a try. I can't put it indoors, but we're still going to try. The next beds I'm going to be feeding is our fruit trees. Now, the gala apple here only has one apple now. The wind knocked it down, you all. That tells us that it didn't want to hold onto the tree. And I'm also going to be feeding the Panfrianca tree here that isn't fruiting this year. And that's okay because it's a baby. All our trees are babies. They're not fully mature in these containers. Just want to give you a heads up on that. So if they don't fruit, it's okay with me. Now, the next bed I am going to go ahead and feed is the asparagus bed. This asparagus bed is about 3 years old now this year. And I can go ahead and harvest some asparagus, but I'm going to leave them alone. There is one there. You can't really see it because camouflage. But I'm going to feed it and just leave it alone and wait till next year to start my harvest. I forgot to go ahead and mix the soy amendments in. And so one of the things that you will see me do is add the wood chips back onto these containers. Here in the Central Valley, California, I'm in Zone 9B. It gets extremely hot. And mulching is very important. Whether it's wood chips, straw, hay, grass, fresh cut grass, compost, earthworm castings, whatever it is, we have to mulch because it gets extremely hot. And mulching not only helps with cooling down the soil for the roots, but also is a great sponge that keeps the soil moist when it's wet and warm when it's cool or cold. So With wood chips, also, the older the wood chips are, the quicker it will turn to soil and give you some mycelium as well to feed your microbes into that soil. Let's keep it moving. Now, one of the things I did forget to do is also stir in the asparagus as this bed. And this is a purple tree collar in front of you that also needs to be fed. Our tree collars are not going to be fed right now, but I will get to that later. Now, this asparagus bed also has a strawberry in it. The other strawberries that was in that bed, they died. It again, I don't know. I just got busy this year, you all, and things happen. But to God be the glory, we still got fruit. And now I'm going to continue to add the mulch, which is this patio bark. That is different from the wood chips. But they're going to be covered and they're going to be happy and they're going to be successful this year. Let's keep it moving as I am going to now go ahead and feed also our beloved citrus trees. Now, normally I would feed all the citrus trees, but because my camera is in the way of the Aurori Satsuma, I'm gonna leave that tree alone. And it was well, everyone. Now is time to me to go ahead and just get this citrus fed, and the additional feeding I'm going to give it is a slow release fertilizer. You can use any type of slow release fertilizer when it comes to the citrus, such as a fruit trees fertilizer, a citrus fertilizer. My go-to for my family's garden is all-purpose fertilizer because I get my bang for my buck. And one of my favorite all-purpose fertilizers is from Ivy Organics. For our fruit trees, and it has all 6 macronutrients. It's a balanced fertilizer, and it's organic, and that's very important to me because I can use it in 2 ways: as a slow release granular and a fertilizer tea. Now, several years ago, I was having a discussion with a company called Four Winds Growers, and about 8 years ago, matter of fact, and we was going back and forth by email and whatnot. And they told me, they said if I did not have any fertilizer, if something went wrong in the world and we couldn't get our hands on it, the number one thing I should do when it comes to feeding is give it compost. I want to make that clear, you all, that if you cannot afford fertilizer, a granular fertilizer for that matter, give it compost, because citrus, whether it's a grapefruit, mandarin, a sweet orange, a sour orange, a kumquat, a lime, or a lemon, they love to eat, and especially during the growing season. And I'm gonna say this: the Mayo lemon and the Eureka lemon, I believe, are the only 2 that love the flower but not produce a lot of leaves, and that is the truth. But to each his own. They love to eat, and so I want to get credit where credit is due, because without Four Winds Growers helping me 8 years ago, I wouldn't have the fruit that we have today. Now, I do want to say, because our temperatures, we did not get a heavy crop this year, and that's okay. But if you can't get any fertilizer, make sure you use compost, whether that's a mushroom compost, whether it is a manure, composted manure, which is like a chicken compost manure, cow manure, earthworm castings, which is also manure, rabbit manure, or a composted goat manure. Make sure you use compost. I'm NJ Cali. We'll see you.